It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Are you angry?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm totally mad. There's no reason for it. This is absolute stupidity. This is a man-made crisis caused by Donald Trump, period.
John Bartman is a soybean farmer whose family has been working Illinois land since before the Civil War. This year, his crops, diligently planted, meticulously cared for, are losing their value.
This is a yield monitor. This allows me to see instantly what my yield is doing. So this is 4,134. So that's roughly $40,000 worth of soybeans that we have harvested. And a couple years ago, that was easily $60,000. So that's a major, major change. This is the economics. It's what we do in this country. We export food. And we can't do that right now.
Soybeans are the largest agricultural export from the U.S., valued at more than $24 billion last year, 52% of which was exported to China. But this year, soybean exports to China are down 51% compared with the same time period last year. The drop comes as China stopped buying soybeans from the U.S. and an escalating trade war. President Donald Trump insists farmers will win the trade war. Posting on Truth Social October 1st, "We've made so much money on tariffs that we are going to take a small portion of that money and help our farmers. I will never let our farmers down." John Bartman is skeptical.
Bailout's not going to do it. Bailout, unfortunately, we need the money.
Once you lose a customer like China, can you ever get them back?
I sincerely doubt it. Why would they?
Are you
Why do we have to consistently bail out farmers if we just make everyone, live, pull themselves up by the bootstraps? If the soybean is not selling in China, hell, go sell it on the streets of, Oakland or, somewhere in Montana or Tennessee, But listen. America first. If I guess if we can bail out Argentina, we should be able to bail out our farmers, right? Not to mention the people who need healthcare. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? They don't need it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, essentially, okay? While Americans here today are fighting, grocery store prices, we're not getting bailouts. You know what would be great? If every American could get about like $200 in food stamps. Just every one of them. Actually, that's a fun fact. Cherokee Nation gave me $200 and some dollars a month. But I can only buy like bread, cereal, milk, eggs, cheese, stuff like that. I'm fine with that. Give me that all day. But hey, I was like, shit, for real? Bring it on. I have no problem with it. I'm pretty sure those little vegetables, I could buy the vegetables with the card. Everybody can use that. Why does the Cherokee Nation have to bail out everyday people and not our government? Well, we got to fight our government. Our government say we don't need it, but everyday people do need it. So I don't know about what y'all people doing for y'all, but ours is taking care of ours. And not just, I ain't afraid to be like transparent about receiving whatever it is. I'm a single father with a bunch of kids. So, yes, and they're taken care of. And we don't have Medicaid or Medicare or whatever. It doesn't matter, but we don't. But fact of the matter is, these farmers don't want to be bailed out. They don't want a handout. This man got up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning and tilled the yard, tilled the farm, milked the cows, wrangled up the chickens, okay, fed the cows every day. He want to get up and do his job every day. He don't want to be bailed out. He don't want to be bagging up soybeans and not selling it. He want to go down to the truck, get a truck to come and pull up, buy all their soybeans, send it off to China, and he get his money the right way. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to be bailed out. Trump wants to bail them out. Trump is like, you're going to fail with these tariffs, but if you fail, I'm going to bail you out. But everyday Americans is asking for lower grocery prices, or we need food stamps, or we need housing, and Trump people are like, nope, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's that farmer.
The U.S. is increasing its bailout of Argentina from $20 billion to $40 billion. That's a bunch of nonsense. The first $20 billion is coming from the U.S. government, but the additional $20 billion will be from private investors, sovereign wealth funds, and banks. Well, they're working adjacent with the U.S. government, but regardless, whether it's $40 or $20 billion, why are we giving any to a foreign country? Well, first off, we aren't just giving them this $20 billion per se. It's a currency swap, meaning we give them $20 billion, and in exchange, they give us $20 billion worth of their currency, the peso. But we all know the dollar is very stable in comparison to the peso, which is why they are begging us for this. Yeah, it definitely helps them more than it helps us, as it will stabilize their markets, as investors will see that they have our backing. But eventually, Argentina will have to give us our $20 billion back with some interest in exchange for their pesos. Well, the risk is because Argentina is very volatile economically, they could take our $20 billion, be forced to spend it to stabilize their bond markets or whatever, and not be able to pay us back. Then thankfully, we have their $20 billion worth of pesos as collateral, which again could collapse in value. Sure, but you gotta understand the money we are using here is not taken away from other programs. It's just sitting there in what's called the Treasury's Exchange Stabilization Fund, which is emergency reserves waiting to be used for situations just like this to stabilize global markets. The last couple times this fund was used globally was Mexico in 1995 and South Korea in 1997, and these situations were much different, as those two countries are much larger trading partners with the US and generally more stable economies who just needed some quick help. They both repaid with interest and all was well. Argentina, on the other hand, is one of the most volatile economies worldwide, and they're like our 35th largest trading partner, so not that important. Their only relevance is their president, Javier Milei, is essentially MAGA. Well, he's brought free market principles and a Doge mindset to their country, which has cut inflation down substantially. The issue they're running into now is their markets and peso have been plummeting because some recent signs show Milei's political party might lose and bring back the anti-free market policies that have plagued Argentina. So Trump is trying to save his buddy in the next election, and he even said it. If Milei's party loses, he will stop helping Argentina. So it's essentially election interference. Because if Milei's party loses, there will be no hope for Argentina. Trump's investing in free market policies, not the man. And isn't the fact that all these banks are willing to put up $20 billion alongside the U.S. shows it will probably be a good investment? Well, it's because they, like some of Besant's friends, have a lot of investments in Argentina, so they're trying to save their asses there. Or we're all just trying to counter Chinese influence, who already have a close to $20 billion credit swap of their own with Argentina. I'm sure that's what it is. How the hell would you know?
So this guy just gave a conservative and liberal enactment of what's going on with the money to Argentina. So if y'all need a playback, it's Both Side News on TikTok.
Trump's bailout could have the added effect of hurting American farmers, who, we should note, are already suffering immensely under the effects of Trump's chaotic whipsawing global trade war. For the second time in a decade, Trump has picked a fight with China at the expense of American farmers, who make up, obviously, a pretty sizable portion of his political base. You see, American farmers grow a lot of soybeans, and China buys them. Last year, China bought over half, 52% of our total soybean exports. They are our largest customer. Billions and billions of dollars. This year is a different story. You see that graph? This graph shows our soybean exports to China over the last year. That line in May is where sales stopped entirely, kaput, completely, all as a result of Trump's tariffs. Farmers are now left with crops they cannot sell, and it is having an absolutely catastrophic effect on their livelihoods. Okay, so how does Argentina factor into this? Well, guess what? Argentina also grows a lot of soybeans. And Trump's buddy, President Milei, just slashed export tariffs to make it much cheaper for China to buy them. In other words, China is replacing American-grown soybeans with Argentinian-grown soybeans. And Trump is bailing out Argentina as they take sales directly away from American farmers.
Bailing out Argentina doesn't help my market. Sending me the tariff money that me and every other taxpayer in this country is paying for. I buy parts and I buy groceries, and I'm paying the tariffs exactly like everybody else is. Sending me that money doesn't fix my problem. I mean,
hey, do that sound like AI to y'all? Ooh, let me find out MSNBC using AI.
Grown soybeans. And Trump is bailing out Argentina as they take sales directly away from American farmers.
Bailing out Argentina doesn't help my market. Sending me the tariff money that me and every other taxpayer in this country is paying for. I buy parts and I buy groceries and I'm paying the tariffs exactly like everybody else is. Sending me that money doesn't fix my problem. I mean, to me, currently all we want to do is throw money everywhere at problems instead of actually sit down and try to fix one. If Argentina fails, okay, they're my second biggest competition. If we're going to make American agriculture great and make it stand on its own 2 feet, then I need my second biggest competitor to fail.
Again, this is really crazy, right? I mean, think about this. Trump is explicitly, through his unilateral actions, hurting his own country, the farmers in his own country who voted for him by huge margins in order to help out his right-wing buddy in Argentina, all while the government that his party controls remains shut down. It is a set of circumstances almost beyond parody for the so-called American first president.
Yeah, I don't think y'all ready for that conversation, man. I think, listen, Argentina's bailed out already. The money is gone. Okay, now we need to look forward to what we're gonna do about the tariffs and our farmers. Mind you, the farmers aren't selling stuff to us. Our bell peppers and limes and all that stuff, that shit is imported. But our farmland and our cows and stuff go to other countries. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to work in the shipping industry, and pretty much watching the agricultural ships that ship pigs, cows to China, that too has slowed down exponentially. So, the tariffs is hurting all the farmers. They talk about soybean right now, but there are farmers that farm meat, pigs, cows, goats, all that stuff, and that too. You got people burying their cows in their yard because they can't sell them. So it is what it is.
And what's the benefit for United States in helping this way Argentina?
Just helping a great philosophy take over a great country. Argentina is one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever seen. And we want to see it succeed. Very simple. I mean, we don't have to do it. It's not going to make a big difference for our country, but it will in terms of South America. If Argentina does well, you're going to have others following.
Some Iowa farmers are frustrated because President Trump is putting $20 billion into Argentina to bail them out. They're worried that the administration is focusing on foreign financial aid at the expense of American farmers. Madam Secretary, what do you say to those Iowa farmers?
Well, I understand the frustration from farm country, but what I will say is, and I live it every day, but what I will say is this. The president's focus remains 100% on America first, on ensuring he has the farmers in America's backs. What I've heard the president say over and over, and Secretary Besson over and over, is that countries like Argentina, for the sake of world peace and world stability, it's important that President Milei is able to retain its leadership position in Argentina, and very, very important that Argentina continues to partner with America. That's way out of my lane. I'm more focused on slinging soybeans and making sure we're selling cotton. But the message to the farmers is the president is here. He sees you. He hears you. We're going to do everything we can to not only make sure you have that bridge from this harvest to next year's planting, but that we again move into that age where they're no longer dependent on government checks. And that's what I'm.
Yeah. How about we not bail them out and we stop raising tariffs so they can sell their soybean? Because they are workers just like the rest of us. Let them sell their product. If they can't sell their product, then don't bail them out. Because I don't see Trump going to remember Blockbusters and movie rental places used to be everywhere? I know technology did that, not freaking economic tariffs. Technology did that. But let's just say, for the sake of it, all these DVD rental places started going away. Did they say, hey, can we get a bailout? You know, we had a place called Family Video. Family Video was family owned, each one of them, all across Oklahoma, and nobody bailed them out. So when you have small grocery stores in community, especially black communities that that are failing because people can't shop there because they have higher prices because of the new Walmart was built around the corner. So now the local grocery store can't compete with Walmart. So now that shop is getting put out of business. Did Trump bail them out? Not at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I use Blockbuster as a damn example. Like they couldn't get a bailout, you know, but they didn't go along with technology. Netflix came in and, you know, with the direct to consumer, and they started putting DVD boxes at every Walgreens, which, you know, there's a Walgreens and a CVS on every freaking major corner intersection. So like, you know, Netflix then came from sending DVDs to your home to streaming to your mobile devices and your TVs. I mean, had Blockbuster got with times, they would have never failed. But I mean, you know, it's just somebody had a better idea.